So in this segment, we're going to talk about preparing fruit for a tray. And in order to do that, we have to peel the fruit and make sure we peel it the correct way, and prep the smaller fruit and getting everything fanned out and cut up. So we're going to start with, number one, we're going to take our board and we're going to take a damp towel and we are going to put it underneath of the cutting board so that the cutting board does not move all around the table and stays right where you want it to be. Very good. Okay, so starting with melon, we're going to start with the cantaloupe. We're going to take it using a serrated knife. I prefer a serrated knife because it holds to the fruit much better than a straight knife. Top it, bottom it, stand it up. In a sawing fashion, you're going to come around the curvature of the melon, making sure that the melon stays on the melon, not on the skin. Now you notice there's a green line here. It's just pretending like you were back coloring in a coloring book and you were told to stay within the lines. So you're going to take it, you're going to follow the green line around, you're going to turn it to you. If you're left-handed, you would be going like this and turning this way, but since I'm right-handed, I'm going to turn to this side, turn it again. Okay. Again, following the curve of the melon, trying to take off as least amount of melon as possible. Okay, we're going to take, you notice that the melon is completely peeled. We're going to cut straight down. Using a large spoon, in this case a kitchen spoon, I come down this side, come around the end, and I come right back down into the middle. Scrape out the remainder of the seed, and now our half is completely seeded. Do the same on this side. Okay. Come back, cut straight down, set it on its side. You see how it stands up here on the side. We're going to rock it back. We're going to trim the foot and the toe, and now it lies flat. Do the same with the remaining part of the cantaloupe. All right. So now we're going to take our fruit planks. That's a term I created. That's what I call them. And we're going to add them. As you can see, we already have the honeydew already done, but it was done exactly the same fashion. Clean off our board. Okay, coming to pineapple. Pineapple, obviously, as you see, has a top. You have a couple of ways to get rid of that. You either twist it and it comes right off, or you can snap it and it should come off as well. Just like in the melon, we're going to top it and bottom it. Stand it up just like with the melon. Okay, now the thing about it with pineapple is pineapple has eyes, and you want to cut down below the eyes to see flesh, as you can see. So again, pretending it's a coloring book, stay below the eyes. Good. Remove the skin. Okay, just like with the melon, we're going to cut straight down. Again, cut straight down. And like with the melon, we're going to lift it up, but we're going to, in this case, we're not bottoming and cutting the toe and the heel off, but we are cutting the core out of it. Okay, the core is pretty rough. Some countries, they give it to the children to chew on. But in this case, we're going to use this for a fruit platter, and we don't want people chewing on anything that they're not going to like. Okay, so now that we have our melon and our pineapple cut into planks, now we're going to talk about, in this case, a kiwi. Kiwis can be cut into deals where they look like little pinwheels, and it's just a means of cutting V's backwards then forwards all the way around. Then simply separating them out to make the wheel. Okay? Okay. Last, we're going to talk about fanning of strawberries. And now we're going to come in with a series of cuts, cutting straight down. And then we're going to press on it, and then that in turn is going to give us our fan for the berry. Good. Now, we're going to move on, and we're going to now display this fruit that we've cut, and we're going to put it onto a platter and make a fruit platter. And there are definite do's and don'ts of making a platter. First of all, in this case, we want it to look real, so we've got some clean kale that we've gotten, and we're going to put it onto the tray so that it covers all of the tray. And the other thing that's important to keep in mind when you're working with kale is you always want to cover up as much of the stems from the previous go around as best we can. If they see a little bit of the tray on the outer edge, that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. That's almost like looking at a picture frame, if you will. But you always want to cover up as much of the stem from the previous leaf as possible. Okay, so you get down to the end, and then you can kind of start coming back the other way. And sometimes they're very long, and you just simply snap it off, and it's not that big of a deal. Okay? But you don't want to see anything like this. You want that to be hidden. That's part of what people are paying you to do, is to make it look good, and that's part of it. Okay. It looks pretty good. So we can see that majority of our tray is covered with the outside still exposed to make a picture frame. Now comes what I call the gross piece. Not gross like it's icky, but gross with G-R-O-S-S-E, which means the beginning or the main focal point. So we're going to take our pineapple top, and again we're going to cut straight down through that. We're going to take it, I'm going to set it off center, because when things are centered they don't look as attractive. So again, we're going to set this up. Now you can see we're starting to build height, and height adds to eye appeal, and this is what we want it to be, a very nice looking piece. And so we're going to take some of our grapes, and I stick it into the greenery because, as you know, plants don't grow out of anything that isn't green. Okay, so this is going to come on here. We're going to extend this. Okay. Actually, I'll take this out into here. A little more greenery. because I want it to look like it's growing out of this greenery. Good. Okay, so now as you can see, we've got grapes on here, and it's still got sections here, which is what we're looking for. So now we're going to add our melon. Okay, and so one of the things that I tend to do is I tend to add the pineapple first, because there's 2 melons and there's only 1 pineapple. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this on the bias. You notice there's a bigger end and a smaller end. That's important. Okay, so we're going to come in here. We're going to cut this. We're going to turn it, and then with the knife in your hand, you're going to push and pull. Okay? We're going to push up with the knife and pull back with our hand, and now we're ready to put the pineapple on the tray. So we're going to set the knife under it. We're going to come up here and set that right there. Push the pieces into place, and then we are going to repeat. Okay, push and pull. And now this one is going to come right on top of the other one. And we're going to push it into place very gently, just so that it molds right to where we want it to be. Take our third and last one, and we may not get all of this on there because it's the tray isn't as big to hold it. But again, we can take, say, half of a pineapple, do the same thing, push and pull. And now we're going to take this and lay it just right on top. Okay. We're going to take our honeydew, and in this case, because we've got green grapes here, I'm going to take it and try to put it out a little ways, because you don't really want to have 2 colors of the same right next to each other, because they drown each other out. You know, there are definite do's and don'ts when doing trays, and that's one of the don'ts. Okay, take our honeydew, push and pull. We're going to come in here like this, and we're going to lay that down just like that. And now we're going to come in with the cantaloupe and do basically the same thing. Now we're going to put this, since this melon tends to be smaller in stature, we are going to put this one on this side of the tray. And the thing is, you notice there's 3 melon types that are being sliced, and odd numbers, 3s and 5s and things, are more appealing than than even numbers. So again, I'm going to start out here, set that there. And then we're going to take this one and do exactly the same as we did on the other sides, except we're going to put this to the inside right into here. And then we're going to come in and take our kiwi and our strawberries, press them out, and then we're going to garnish with those. Okay, push and pull, set, and set. Okay, with this being done, now we're going to come in here. We've got our strawberries that have been pre-cut and our kiwi. All of these are all set. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put green where there is no green, if I can. Now the red I can come up and put wherever there's green, just the opposite. So that one's fanned. This one here could be cut in half. Okay, well, a little bit of green there isn't going to hurt it. We can run our fanned berries on top, down the line to fill in. And then finish up like so. Okay, and in truth, there you go. We have a simple fruit tray that is done, and that could be for a party of up to 30 people.